Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
And we start with major developments in the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Airstrikes targeting a number of cities as residents rush to get out. All of it happening as President Biden issues more sanctions against Russia.
Now to live pictures 4,800 miles away here at home in Warren. People with loved ones trapped in Ukraine are gathering to pray for peace. And if you're just joining us, we continue to follow news out of Ukraine as it happens. Right now, the clock just hit midnight local time in Kyiv.
Let's take you through some of what we have seen so far today. About an hour ago, officials in the eastern city of Lviv ordered all of the lights to be shut out in hopes of preventing airstrikes. Chilling thought for the 700,000 people who live there. Also today, Ukraine's president says Russian troops have seized control of the Chernobyl nuclear site.
And if you want a sense of just how volatile and dangerous this situation is, this should do it. This is a snapshot of flight radar over the region. Not a single plane anywhere near the entire country. Alice Barr kicks off our coverage tonight from Washington.
Good evening. President Biden today called this a premeditated, unjustified attack. And as he laid out harsh economic sanctions, said that Russia's president will now be a pariah on the world stage. War has arrived in Ukraine. Russia launching a broad invasion by land and air, bombarding major cities across the country, including the capital of Kyiv. World leaders united in outrage against Russian President Vladimir Putin's attack on a sovereign country. President Biden addressing the nation.
Putin is the aggressor. Putin chose this war, and now he and his country will bear the consequences.
Amid reports of casualties, Ukrainian civilians taking shelter underground or racing to evacuate. So many terrified and tearful.
To see this happening to the country is just devastating. I just can't believe someone could be so evil.
Missile strikes so far largely targeting military installations and airfields, as U.S. defense officials say Russia is trying to decapitate and replace Ukraine's pro-Western government. President Biden meeting with his national security advisors and top allies in the G7, coordinating harsh new sanctions aimed at crushing the Russian economy.
We will limit Russia's ability to do business in dollars, euros, pounds, and yen, to be part of the global economy.
With sanctions and uncertainty rocking world markets, President Biden promising to protect American consumers and defending against criticism that he still hasn't unleashed every economic weapon in his arsenal, even as sanctions alone have not prevented Putin's march to war.
This is going to take time. It's not going to occur. He's going to say, oh my God, these sanctions are coming, I'm going to stand down. He's going to test the resolve of the West to see if we stay together, and we will.
President Biden again promising U.S. troops will not be fighting inside Ukraine, but vowing more support to defend NATO allies should they enter Putin's crosshairs next. President Biden acknowledged one significant crack in the allies' economic response. Europe is hesitating to kick Russia out of the SWIFT banking system. That would cut Russia off from most international financial transactions, but would also damage Europe's economy. The president insisting the steps he laid out are just as punishing. In Washington, Alice Barr, Local 4.
Okay, Alice, and for thousands of families with ties to Ukraine, they can only sit, watch, and pray that their loved ones are safe.
And right now, many of them are doing just that, gathering at St. Josephat Church in Warren to condemn the violence and pray for peace. Paula Tutman there tonight. Paula, they are terrified of what they're watching and what may be to come.
Absolutely. I mean, this is horrifying. And so what I want you to know is that you could call this a Ukrainian enclave, just one of many. We're talking about 50,000 or so Ukrainian Americans in Michigan alone. So right here, they are here to pray, to rally, to protest, because this umbilical cord, this thing that's happening in Ukraine, it's not something that's happening way over there. It's happening right here in this community and in their hearts.
Families in Metro Detroit are terrified. Dr. Elena Danyak has 6 cousins who are currently fleeing the city centers with no place to go and no real place to hide. They're in a fishbowl, surrounded by incoming.
My two cousins, they escaped from Kyiv, and they are traveling in the small cities, and they are right now staying in their relatives, and they're trying just to come with their kids to join their family in Lviv.
They communicate with the outside world as much as they can and as early as they can before their communications are shut down by war that is now raining down around them.
They are praying that that all country will stand in fight for them, and they still believe that we will be fighting for them and we will bring boots on the ground.
Where in the world is the world? Olga, who's afraid to use her last name, lives in Metro Detroit. Her mother lives in Western Ukraine, and her grandmother, and so many of her friends.
I'm just a regular human who has loved ones back there, and it's so scary that we even have to talk about this right now, that in the 21st century, we talk about the war. We talk about trying to save our loved ones.
She watches the news in absolute terror.
I called every family member I could possibly speak to today, and I realized that it might be the last time I'm talking to them. And that's devastating. That's scary. And there's no way I can help them.
You know, when I talked to Olga this afternoon, she had just lost phone contact with her mother and with her sister. She has no idea if they are safe. Again, we've been talking about the Ukrainian American Crisis Response Committee of Michigan. They have activated, and what they're doing now is they're collecting money for direct humanitarian aid for Ukrainians crossing, particularly across the border with Poland right now, guys.
Boy, so much. All right. Paula, thanks so much for that. The invasion overnight has sent shockwaves through the financial markets, too. At the open today, the Dow was down 800 points, but after a very dramatic turnaround at the end of the day, the market actually ended up a little less than 100 points on the day.
Our coverage of the invasion of Ukraine continues over this next 90 minutes of news.
Coming up at 5:30, our business editor and certified financial planner Rod Maloney with a look at how the turmoil in the markets is going to hit all of us and what, if anything, we can do to try to limit the damage. At 6 o'clock, you're going to hear from a woman who was here in Metro Detroit 3 weeks ago and is now trapped in Ukraine, frightened of what could be coming her way.
And be sure to stay with Local 4 tonight for NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt. They have multiple reporters on the ground in Ukraine to give you a firsthand look at what's happening there. So be sure to tune in at 6:30 right after Local 4 News at 6.
All right, now we need to go to a winter weather alert tonight as snow is set to hit Metro Detroit and into the morning.
Yeah, let's get over to Paul with what he's seeing on Storm Tracker 4 tonight. Hi, Paul.
Yeah, hey there. Yeah, it was a tough call, actually, for the National Weather Service on issuing the winter weather advisory. But I think in the end, the impact on the Friday morning rush hour, it's going to really grease up the roads. I think that was the kind of the straw that broke the camel's back. So winter weather advisory in effect for all of us here in Southeast Michigan until 8 o'clock on Friday morning. So let's get right to Storm Tracker 4. And as you can see, as expected, we're dry here for now, and we've saved the Thursday evening rush hour. But just to the south, in fact, not too far to the south, you see snow. And it's snowing to beat the band here in some spots. So the snow is really going to pick up as we move through the evening hours. But you'll notice farther to the south here, take a look. We have freezing rain here as well. I think most of that's going to stay to the south. There's one high-resolution model that's trying to maybe bring a little of that mix into perhaps areas south of 94. But for most of us, it's going to be all snow. I'm thinking generally 2 to 4 inches of snow. The average is probably going to be around 3 across the area. We're going to break that down in more detail in just a few minutes, guys.
All right, Paul, and because of the snow on the way, the Local 4 News Today crew is going to get started a half hour earlier than usual tomorrow, so you can join them starting at 4 a.m. James and Jennifer Crumbly have been ordered to stand trial on charges of involuntary manslaughter.
That decision comes after a day of testimony, including from the school counselor who confronted the suspected shooter about those troubling drawings. Defender Sean Lay, following today's hearing, Sean, he went step by step through what happened that day.
And that was excruciating to the Oxford families, many of them of the victims here today, having to listen to new information revealed by the school counselor, bringing up new questions if he and others did enough to stop the shooting. Also, the judge just making that decision to move this case to trial, calling Ethan Crumbly a danger and his parents not doing enough to stop that danger. The parents of Tate Meir hearing for the first time from Oxford High School counselor Sean Hopkins, taking all of us inside that meeting just hours before the shooting.
I asked him if he was a threat to himself or others.
Hopkins had Ethan Crumbly in his office. He had Crumbly's violent drawings and words, "My life is useless." The gun right in Ethan's backpack. And Crumbly's parents, James and Jennifer, then arrived.
What happened when they walked in the room?
It was different than other meetings I've seen.
Why is that?
They weren't friendly or showing care to their student.
To their son?
To their son.
Did they greet him?
No.
Did they touch him?
No.
Did they hug him?
No.
Hopkins says his risk assessment of Ethan told him that Ethan was suicidal. He told the parents that they needed to get their son professional help immediately.
I am concerned that he needs somebody to talk to for mental health support.
And what was the response?
That today was not an option because they had to return to work. I then wrote Ethan a pass back to class. I thought it was a really rough situation to be showing signs of needing help, of needing support, and it felt like he got the opposite.
Back here live, the Crumbly parents now will face a trial and a jury on 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter. Their attorneys argued right before we wrapped up here today that they wanted a lower bond for Mr. and Mrs. Crumbly. The judge absolutely denied that. Also, we just spoke with the father of Tate Meir. He listened to all of this today. Extremely difficult, as you could imagine. Tonight at 6, we'll bring you his comments. He is saying that Oxford Schools needs to apologize to him and the Oxford families. We're live tonight in Rochester. Sean Lay, Local 4, back to you.